Well, hello and welcome to Alpine Daily for this Tuesday. Here's what I want to encourage and challenge you with today. I want to encourage you to worship God all day long. Now, maybe that sounds a little bit weird to you, and maybe you're thinking that what you're supposed to do is, sing songs in your cubicle all day long, or, you're talking to your neighbor and you suddenly break out into Amazing Grace. And that's not at all what I'm saying. That could get you fired or make your neighbor think that you're weird. But really, to worship is far more than just singing. Sometimes people think of worship as simply singing songs to God, or maybe even limit it to worship as something you do at church on Sunday morning for a short time. But really in the Bible, worship isn't something that is just singing or is just on Sunday. Certainly singing is a part of worship, and Sunday worship is an important time to do that when we're all together as the body of Christ. But worship is certainly not limited to that. The English word worship comes from the idea of simply ascribing worthship. We are demonstrating to God the worth that we see and recognize in our lives. I like how King David said it in Psalm chapter 71, down in verse 8, he says this. He says, "God, my mouth is filled with your praise, declaring your splendor all day long." I like how he says that. Notice that his mouth is filled with praise, and he is declaring the splendor and the glory of God, not just one time, not just a couple times, not just one day a week, but all day long. And so that is what I want to encourage you with, is to all day, and really every day, to declare the wonder and the glory and the worth of God with your life. There's a great definition of worship that a theologian named William Temple gave. He's the former Archbishop of Canterbury, and he said this: to worship is to quicken the conscience by the holiness of God, to feed the mind with the truth of God, to purge the imagination by the beauty of God, to open the heart to the love of God, and to devote the will to the purpose of God. And I like that because it shows that worship is not just singing. It's all of who we are. It's our conscience, our mind, our imagination, our heart, our will. It's all of who we are being devoted to God. So I just want to encourage you throughout your day today, as you are maybe faced with temptation, to remind yourself of the holiness of God. As you have all these other truths going around, to make sure you are feeding your mind with the truth of God in His Word, to purge the imagination by filling your mind with the beauty of God as you look at the mountains and notice things that God has made, to allow that to remind yourself of the beauty of God, to fill your heart with that unconditional love of God, and to devote yourself to the purpose of God. And as you do these things throughout your day, reminding yourself of these things, that will go a long way in helping you to worship God all throughout your day. And so I just want to encourage you, as you pray today, to ask God to help you to focus on Him all throughout the day, and to ask God to allow your conscience and your mind and your imagination and your heart and your will all to be turned toward Him throughout this day, so that you can worship Him all day, every day.